It's been really fun these last 3 days.
Yeah, well, it's a fresh game. Like we always look for this, and so what keeps Dota.
But it doesn't always happen when we get a new patch, does it? It doesn't suddenly explode in 80 kills every game.
Yeah, that doesn't always happen. Like sometimes it can go the opposite direction. But I think by now that they've learned how not to patch to a boring way. Everything that seems to be done always seems to push towards more aggressive tempo.
No, I think that as the game gets better, players are now much more comfortable with what's really the optimal way of playing Dota, which is to be as strong as possible, as fast as possible. It's not...
You're not taking a risk.
Yeah.
Because that's how it felt sometimes before when it was like, oh, we can't risk dying because then we'll lose this particular thing.
It all starts with the emphasis in the laning phase after the change to the deny mechanics, right? We're already up to a 40% on XP you receive in a deny. It used to be 25, but it's still pretty impactful. You can't lose all your lanes. You can't lose your tier 1s without the ability to take them yourself. And you need to be able to fight around Roche. So you have to have certain elements of a draft around the 15-minute mark, or you're just going to get blown out because teams are too good now to make those mistakes that allowed we have an anti-mage, will come online, eventually. You're going to lose the game before that. Like we actually just saw Liquid do in the one game they took off Gambit. Yep. Oh, you want to go for this OD? You need a while to get online? Well, we're raxing you, so...
Yep. We just push
we see the Wisp and the Chen ban.
And the Warlock
and on the other side of it, the Magnus and the Warlock ban. So we've called all 4.
I guess we're right. Right. All right, I can't say anything more for this draft now. I'm going to winner.
Well, the bat ban's cool because it means that increases the value of Nature's Prophet quite a bit. And it also removes some of the value of Nyx Assassin. But I would expect that means Puppy wants Prophet if it's left available. I think Naga is another hero we could see in this game. I think that I still think that hero's one of the best 3 carries on the patch. And I think teams deliberately were hiding it in the group stage.
There's been one Zemba. So some respect bans in the first phase from both teams.
I think that's also because they're going to let the Darkseer through the pool as well. We haven't seen a lot of success with the Darkseer during the tournament, but when you combine him with the Ember Spirit, it's a lot of early damage for his rotations.
Yep.
So it just makes it a little bit safer when he is going to get through the first ban phase.
Oh, Secret also, they do love first picking Shaker, another hero that deals with quite handily. So
you got Shaker, you got Rubik in there for both of the Absol heroes.
Spirit's still there as well.
I wonder if anyone's also going to be balls enough, just to get that Morphling in the first phase when AA's in the pool.
The thing is that based on bans, you don't really want to... I wouldn't pick my 4 position here because none of them have been removed thus far.
Hello. Early Enigma.
And Team Secret love to do this when they combo it with the Absol's Enigma, but they then run the Tidehunter as well, so they get this double overlap of the big AoEs.
So do we get a Rubik? No, we get a Nurse Spirit, okay.
So
I wasn't expecting Earth Spirit though as a returner to that.
It's good. You want to deny it from Secret. I think it's one of the better heroes to pair with an offlane Enigma.
It also felt like they were like, we don't care what you pick. This is what we're going to start with.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is why you ban the mag. Because I've seen OG Troll, and I've seen OG Troll with Sep mag, and it's night and day difference. And it goes from I almost always favor OG's draft if they have Magnus, and with this hero naked, it's Troll's a hero concept that really needs some sort of damage, steroid, or amplification to be effective.
This just feels like a normal cast when the chat wheel takes over and you can't say anything.
Yeah, you haven't got enough levels, buddy. Work harder.
So they get the Shaman up from Secret. This feels like a lot of strength in the push.
Really?
From Team Secret.
What makes you say that?
Really? Mass 7 Wars conversions. The only thing we need right now is a Drow Ranger to back this up, and we're all Gucci for Team Secret.
What was that? A Drow and a Techie?
No techies.
No.
You don't get techies when you've already got Shaman and Enigma. I'm still realistic about techies.
Okay,
I'm not FYing this right now.
It's hard lockdown. It does mean that I feel Secret, they get rid of the Prophet themselves because they don't want to give OG more early game tempo. I think that's when OG is actually the scariest. And you don't want to let them... I've seen them do some weird stuff with a Vlad's first on Honest Troll, and then they're just ending the game, taking a Rax by 18 minutes. And if you're Secret, you're really susceptible to a Silencer. I think that's got to be their last ban here.
I was actually thinking maybe a Baden, where you're able just to shield and let the Troll go a little bit more aggressive early on. It's one of those heroes that No-Tell started at as well.
It's quite good as well against Rasta, since you can now just you dispel,
break him free,
make your Troll superpower. Also, it means that you're much easily more able to forego the BKB purchase and instead go for just like the Battle Fury Satanic style because you have that cleanse active.
If they took out the Morphling. They don't have, well, the Great Stun Lockdown doesn't come until Troll really gets stronger later on.
Yeah.
And they don't have an easy answer to that, unless they want to draft into an Ancient Apparition. But this just saves them from the problem.
It's really cool just to go into the Rasta Enigma combo again. Whenever you pick this big AoE team fighter, right, you want to make sure you have some method of easy and cheap catch, just a ton of lockdown, because it allows your Rasta to play more aggressive. You can go out and try and start fights, find kills, and you have an Enigma in the backline. So you're very hesitant to engage and deal with this Rasta because you always have the threat that a BKB Black Hole could just end the fight for you. You don't want to be caught chasing around the map, hoping for a team fight that OG's never willing to give you as Team Secret. And I love the Pango ban because it deals with Enigma's tempo in the mid-game to early game. You cannot push if a Pango's there with ult prepared, and you crush him in the laning phase thanks to the Swashbuckle.
Yeah. It's actually a good thing to point out, the fact that OG in the last 3 will still need that counter push. And not just something that could mop up a wave, like they need some good range sustained damage that's outside the Troll that can get rid of those mass Serpent Wards.
I think that we might see them go for something like a Disruptor. You're not going to be able to
punish the other way.
Yeah, you don't really want 5-on-5s. It's probably better to just capitalize on skirmishing and the ability to find pickoffs, keep Secret kind of chasing you around the map as you accelerate.
It'll be that good early game cancellation of the Black Hole too. Like until it gets a BKB, then you need to get an Aghanim Scepter then to try and stop it. But it would be a good early option. Make your laning phase a little bit more harassment that can come from you too. The ES will do most of the roaming.
Yeah, this pick kind of determines it for OG, like which direction they'd like to go. I always feel like trying to fight Team Secret early might be a mistake for OG. I think Secret's probably the best. They play the best Dota around like 20-25 minutes when they have all their core items on. They play around their power spikes, I think, better than anybody else, and it's a big part of why they have so much success this year.
But you're taking a lot of time on this last one. I'm wondering what they're thinking of.
OG's turn to pick.
They ban Mars instead.
No Mars yet on the main stage. Did see it plenty of times during the group though.
It would make Secret's team fight lineup just impossible to deal with. And it's probably not a hero they understand too well just yet, as it is the first event we've had that pickable.
Seconds remaining.
Don't say it's over. Oh.
Hey, I've already said it too many times on this panel. I've used up my cards for this. Until it actually makes sense, I won't say it again. Well, there's the silencer. You were calling it, Kyle.
The fact that it's tough, right? Because you got to ban the Pango for reasons already stated, but Silencer's great against heroes like both. Anything with channeling spells.
Yep.
Silencer. Downside is, of course, that if Secret get momentum going, what is this hero actually going to do? It does remove the BKB Black Holes, like this game-winning move from Secret, but I look at OG right now and I feel like their draft needs a lot of time to come online and actually start dealing damage.
Yeah.
How do you take towers early, right?
Well, do you get then aggressive? Like, the Silencer works, like, if you can get involved in some of these earlier kills. this Lone Druid is just appearing time and time again today. But with the ES, like a tri-lane with the +1, like, does that even work?
Not the Triads, I would say, are heavily favoring Team Secret right now. OG, of course, do have that 22 pick, most likely going for the Seb hero here. But it's very difficult if you pick something like an Abaddon, you don't have the damage output. And
I like this.
It's a steroid for the Troll. He needs one.
Yep. And they needed something as well, which isn't just relying on the Silencer, having that Roar to actually hit the Enigma. It's a good laning phase. And I'm just happy whenever Seb's playing a hero that has a proper stun. It may not be a big AoE, even though you do have the pushback, but it's something that at least allows them to have information around Roshan. It allows them to have information going into the team fights, and maybe even potentially kiting a bit of Team Secret up. So it works. I still want to see how it all ties together with it too.
I think Kunkka could be real nice here for Secret. They go for Tide instead. It's just a 1-to-1 Beastmaster counter. a troll counter, Silencer Earth Spirit, relatively ineffective because he can cleanse the silence. You're not going to be able to kill this Tide unless someone goes Silver Edge before he gets a Ravage off. And again, just look at Secret's team fight in comparison to OG. Like, you're just not going to be able to fight them right now.
Good.
Yeah, this is why Team Secret did it. We'll flag at the very early part. Like, Enigma gets picked up. Know that that's probably not going to be the 3 position. They're going to try and pair it with the Tide Hunter because they can bounce around their big ultimates. It's not just like I blow one and then we have to stop pushing.
Yep. And now it's up to Secret as to what they want to last pick. I feel like it's a mid-1 hero. Even though I know he does play the Lone Druid, feels more suited for Nisha this game. They need some kind of cheap catch. If there were a game for Quaswex Invoker, this could be it. Do you want some counter? You just need something with lower cooldowns. They ban out the Naga. Interesting.
Yeah.
That would have been like vintage, going all the way back to the play, right? We don't see Naga Tide Enigma many games anymore.
This is a very different era of Dota.
Maybe go for like a monkey game or something, but I think you just want like a Yule's hero. Something that can get a BKB at a point. I like Lina, I like Invoker, some kind of spellcaster. You've got your physical damage, you've got your team fight, you've got your structure damage. You just need something that slays, that can go to these lanes where you already have, a fight dominant and just start something, get a skirmish going. Make OG play into your hands.
It's like when you almost look towards the Death Prophet, then you're almost layering like
too many cooldowns. Yeah, you need something that is not long cooldown dependent. That's why I'm leaning towards Lina, Lesh. Lesh would actually be really cool here, and Invoker.
Last band still with Team Secret though.
And you gotta be afraid, I think, of your Secret, potentially of the Meepo last pick.
That's right.
I would not be surprised to see.
We have to remember the 5th picks.
Yeah, I actually think that OG need that weird hero to finish their lineup. I think Arc Warden, Alk, Meepo, or what they're looking at right now. Secret's going to go for something a bit more standard, but probably just thinking, all right, what win condition could OG take that would really annoy us?
They banned the Zeus and a Terrorblade pickup from Team Secret.
Very interesting. That's another Beastmaster counter, but now maybe a Storm. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, what are you? You got TA, Monkey, and Storm as the highest rated picks.
TA, Monkey are not heroes here, but something. I mean, that makes the Arc Warden better. Right? Just saying, Arc Warden could be insane here for OG. Very weird pick from Secret, though. I'm surprised that they tried to double down. And I was just saying, I don't like more long cooldowns. They get another huge one.
They actually go for the Monkey.
All right.
They're probably thinking they also need some clearance for the TB illusions. And they're able to do that from range. Yeah, lane dominator. And the movement ability, like that early rotation of OG to potentially gank hard will also be there for them.
Huh.
Best draft, Kyle?
I'm just afraid it kind of comes down to like the relationship that Silencer has with this game. If OG get to a point where they're ahead, they've got like Manta, BKB on the Terrorblade, and then that massive team fight, like they're just going to win the game. Yep. If OG wants to take this, I think they're going to have to play faster around the map. They're going to need a significant advantage by the 15-20 minute mark, and they've got to be able to lean on that and their vision advantage and map mobility to kind of choke out Secret. If they don't do that, I think Secret takes this game.
So you think OG have to basically win in 30 minutes?
Well, they need to have a big advantage. If it's even at 15-20 minutes and like the towers are stable, then I'm giving it to Secret. No problem.
All right, good stuff. Time then, ladies and gentlemen, to get into our second series of the day. OG versus Secret.
We've already had Team Liquid eliminated. Now Team Secret are on the line here, and they've been the most dominant team this DPC season, matched up against an OG squad who have been on the rise lately, Blitz.
Yeah, I feel like they're surging in the right direction. They've got Anna back just in perfect time.
Yep.
It's one of the last tournaments where they're going to be able to get good practice in.
And they seem to be having some fun times.
Yeah, it'd be a good confidence booster, I think, for them, especially against Secret.
And I feel like their lineup enables their kind of playstyle. I mean, we already have the tops and Monkey King, of course, but more like the fact that they've got these low cooldowns, and Secret are definitely exposed in that regard. Very long cooldowns, Tide, Enigma, you've got the Terrorblade there as well. I feel like this could be an OG game where if they just play into their biggest strengths of just kind of like hitting you over and over and over again, they could definitely beat Secret in this first game.
And you've got to be fast in this lineup.
Yeah, Kyle said, what, 15, 20 minutes? If they don't have a significant advantage on OG, then it's not looking good. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like Secret's draft is very greedy. They have good late game. I think this is a very good ultra late game TB game too. He has distance against the troll. You build items that give you space between. My friend Dodo's here in the crowd. He'd love playing in this TB game. I think it's, once it gets to a certain point, you're going to think to yourself, like, this is a free TB game. But for OG, just put up the pressure, run at them as much as you possibly can, choke out the map, use the Beastmaster to sort of establish that presence.
The smoke up, getting some aggressive vision down there. He may actually try. They really gonna go. They thought about it. Maybe diving for Nisha. That'd be crazy. We're just gonna split the bounty runes here, and we are gonna go for an aggro tri-lane and some aggro chat wheel.
And they tip each other as looks like it's gonna be Seb mid. Want to put the Monkey King against the TB. That pressure early on is.
Oh yeah, he's
they're
actually
going to swap entirely, and they're actually going to move Anna back up here, and they're going to make it so that the Monkey King, of course, is against the Tide. My mistake.
Yeah, that's a great matchup for sure.
Yeah. And they put the Beastmaster against the Lone Druid, which I think is fine for Beastmaster.
Oh yeah, and then the Lone Druid matchup is a lane that you can't actually win that well as Monkey King, right? Because the Lone Druid, the bear just serves as this kind of barrier between you and the hero.
Plus the fact that you can simply just fear him away when he does get too close, like you have an instant reset mechanic. Whereas, you know, Lone Druid versus Beastmaster, Beastmaster has the attack speed aura, he can summon his own minions to deal with your bear. It's a more even 2-on-2 at that point.
And in the end, he could just keep on farming. Whereas him in the 1v1 against Tidehunter, he would actually suffer against that anchor smash spam.
Yeah, he would straight up lose that matchup. But I do like how OG's doing things. I mean, this is always the idea behind Secret, I think, is that Secret is naturally a greedy team. As Puppy, gonna get gone on, getting quite low, wants to try to trade out with
No Tail. That first blood, Anna will. And No Tail doesn't even die, really baits Secret out there. I hate to say it's kind of a cool choice too. Goes for the Glides of Wisdom first. All that pure damage actually becoming rather effective, even in harassing the high armor Terrorblade.
Zai in this bottom lane actually doing pretty well, considering I thought this is one of the worst matchups that you can get as No Tail. The guy who, for me anyways, really popularized just suiciding your deaths away. Loves playing those heroes, loves playing those Baddens. Just gonna trade himself out, no real point being up here. As YapzOr continues to greed it up. This is what you want in the laning phase if you're OG. Good lane matchups, early kills, try to hit them where it hurts. Punish the fact that YapzOr can't make these same rotations without his Helm of Dom.
I think Zai's lane is only going well for like these first 2 levels. I imagine as you start getting more Jingu levels, and the Jingu actually starts mattering when it comes to the damage. Because those first couple levels, you always feel like you can kind of fight the Monkey King, even if he does get the stacks up.
You think he should just go for the cut?
Yeah, I think at this point, for sure.
Yeah,
and
that's
force
exactly
the
what
Monkey
he's
King just keep tanking the wave.
Radiant
And that's going to be fine for the Monkey King, but Zai, I mean, he just doesn't want to be in a position where he has to one-on-one at this point.
Yeah.
He is past the point where he can fight and where his damage reduction is going to be useful. Meanwhile, up at top, Nisha also not having the easiest time, so inconceivably, they're winning 2 out of 3 lanes and doing very well in this mid one.
Maybe when you're older.
It's already a good start for the OG squad, but of course, Team Secret have that extra position. They've got the 4 Enigma that is just farming up the jungle right now. So even if they do lose their lanes a bit, they always have that extra bit of farm. Nisha, though, can't afford to go down here. They are going to be able to get the shackles onto the troll. Nisha's going to turn around. He knows he's dead. He can't get away from Jarex, but he's just going to lose his captain as well, as it seems. They're just going to dive him underneath this tower. A big win for OG.
-2, and that does matter for this 5-position Shaman. Losing into early on like this.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have the best pull to work with to begin with. Only 303. He's already lost 4 int. Has had to buy 2 Ironwood branches. And not the easiest start for them. And this is, I mean, for Secret, you know, no surprise faces here. You have to anticipate, like, this sort of had to be the game plan when you picked this greedy.
Yeah. I love that they actually they got some aggressive vision down and actually blocking one of the camps, because they know that these heroes, Jarex, suiciding to the tier 2, they know these heroes, Terrorblade, Enigma, they're going to utilize the jungle heavily. So if they can start taking some of that away, whether it's taking early towers, Nisha is probably going to die here again. They're just going to chase him down. That one last shot for No-Tail. Now the shackles doesn't matter as it goes away. Anna just beats Puppy down as well.
That's another 2.
10 intelligence already for No-Tail.
Dude, that's pretty massive. As No-Tail looks like he wants to die. And in fact, just going to use the dregs of his mana left.
At this point, OG, you thinking about swapping things up? Like you pop the 5-minute shrine and then you just TP'd the Tide Hunter up here. Do you want to TP Troll down to bottom lane?
Yeah. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Why put your Troll in a rough position whatsoever? Like, they're having success in this lane. Just continue to hit back. Follow Nisha around. Make life as miserable as possible for him.
They really got all 4 bounties, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, this Terrorblade, only level 3. Conceivably, if he was like level 5, you can just go jungle. But there's somebody in your jungle already. You have YapzOr that says, like, get out of here. I own this spot.
Yeah. YapzOr is not ready to leave that field just yet. Only has the Arcane Boots. Is going to be working for a fast mech rather than a Helmet Dominator.
And Puppy with 291 mana now.
It costs him 240 for 1 Ether Shock and Shackles, so... Zeb's going to play a little bit of jungle time, leaving that top lane abandoned for now. Monkey King is making his way up there, though.
Yeah. But every minute that nothing is happening, for Secret, that's, you know, that's breathing room. You're going to take that at this point, because you have to make space for a lot of heroes right now on the map.
Yeah. Zeb going to go for that super fast Vlad's, not even stopping for Boots. Vlad's and maybe straight into a Medallion of Courage. So he's going to go for the minus armor right away.
I do like that he's not going for the Necro Book. I think it's more important for him to be able to put pressure and enable his other 2 cores.
Yeah.
You're not the hard carry here. Oh, there we go. Damn, that was in unison. That was a well done, crowd.
Oh yeah, UK crowds, man. They don't shirk when it comes to the chance. Zeb. Rooted up. The boar's going to be able to help him out. He's actually forced to use the Primal Roar. Now he's thinking about trying to kill that bear, but it's a little bit too low to fight right now. He doesn't necessarily have to go back to base because of Vlad's. He can maybe lifesteal off of some neutrals before returning to lane. That's precisely what he's going to do thanks to that medium camp that's right next to that mid lane. One of those nice little advantages for Radiant's side. See, surprisingly though, Secret are bringing back the net worth this time. Oh, he cut the right tree! He found them. They're going to roll on in, trying to stop the Shackles. The Ravage does go down. Now they follow up with the Shackles, making sure this Monkey King can't get off too much. He finally gets off the Boundless Strike. They couldn't actually hit him with the Anchor Smash, and he's going to be able to jump away. They blew so much for that. No-Tail dove into mid lane. At least Secret will get that much, and maybe they'll get Jarex as well. He does have a Rolling Boulder, but the Malphite is causing him some issues, and now with the Ether Shock, he'll be finished up. So 2 actually going down from OG. What a disaster it would have been for OG if they had lost the Monkey King as well.
Still, that was probably best case scenario.
Yeah.
You didn't lose your Monkey King, who has quite the lead right now. 3rd in net worth. Plus you got the Ravage used without any objectives being taken.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So I obviously thought they'd have enough damage as Mid one's going to switch into the melee form, get a little bit tankier. Seb trying to win the regen battle right now through the Vlads, but the bear hurts.
Radiant's top tower is
Yeah,
under
has managed to
attack.
push away that bear. And now they can start getting some solid damage on that tier 1 tower. Jarek's even joining here. They're going to TP in the Time Hunter, wanting to really make sure, but actually Seb running into the Enigma, but he's just right next to him. They kick on through. Thompson's going to run in, Boundless Strike, finish up that Enigma, and now try and fight underneath the Wukong's command. It told me physical
getting
damage,
low.
and he's got that extra bit of armor, but he's getting so low that eventually he will fall here. Looks like he just maybe overestimated how much damage they have, thinking that the 12 bonus armor he gets off of Wukong's command would allow him to fight longer.
Yeah, it was just more the fact that everyone was there.
Yeah.
Hitting on him, and he didn't really have backup, as No Tail only level 4, no global silence on him or anything. Earth Spirit only level 3.
It's funny, Seb was probably thinking the same thing that you were. We got a Tidehunter and Enigma, but you can't both be in the same place. Secret apparently disagreeing.
What a stat. Puppy has so many more wins over No Tail.
Ah, that's including some of the old Fnatic
Dire's top
days.
tower is under
true.
attack.
Puppy's
Dire's
always had good
structures
squads.
are
Yeah,
fortified.
Puppy has always been like,
Except for maybe like that, what was it, TI6 EG, or TI6 Secret Squad.
bit of bounties.
You almost had that.
COG managed to grab 4 of them last time, and they seem to be in really good position to be
They're
able to
gonna
get
get it
3 or 4. Anna single-handedly takes all that.
That's
What's
8
going
in a
on?
row.
Secret, how do you just give those away?
That's a lot of gold. It would be pretty even in net worth otherwise.
I mean, it's surprising to me that OG, it feels like that they're controlling so much of this game, and yet, like, I just keep watching the network dip back into
Radiant's
Secret's
middle
favor
tower is
over
under
time.
attack.
Yeah,
I guess
now
because
with the
they farm the
boundaries.
jungle so efficient.
It's just the nature of their lineup, right?
Yeah.
They have an illusion-based hero, one that literally creates money in the Enigma. And Tidehunter can push out waves very safely. They don't really have the burst on the side of OG, no Silver Edge to break. So Zai's got a relatively free game. And I mean, again, with every minute that passes, Secret's lineup gets stronger and stronger. Haven't lost any towers, really.
They're about to start accelerating even faster as mid one finishes up the Hand of Midas.
The best part about this
Radiant's
Tide in this
middle
game, I
tower
think what
is under attack.
sort of saves Secret's lineup is that he can't get bursted, so he can just sit there
Yeah.
in front of towers. Notice that he always goes in the high priority target towers. Like he TP'd mid, which is what started all that.
Right.
Then they just sort of ignore him. They went for Yapsor instead. He TP's top. Seb doesn't really have a place to go. He's sort of just being trailed by this Tidehunter. Plus the Lone Druid's a similar hero. He can just pull back the creep wave using his bear, just reset things, and just buy time right now.
Yeah, that's why OG, despite the fact that they had pretty much a 4 versus 5 for the laning phase and were doing quite well for themselves, they have yet to take a single tier 1.
I mean, it's always so easy to talk about. It's like, oh, well, they're a greedy team. Just sort of punish their greed, but easier said than done.
Hobson's chased away. So what does OG? Do they need to commit more heroes to lane that the Tidehunter's not at and just go for it? Go for a smoke gank, get a kill, push the tower? Do we need to try and wrap on mid one, somehow kill him with your spirit? They do have the Gold of Silence available now, so they should have some of the tools at least to kill one of these cores.
And they got Global, they've got Roar, they have good team fight. I think they should look for a fight towards mid lane.
That's where they're headed to with their smoke. They're going to sit
Dire's
behind
middle
Seb.
tower is under attack.
He's going to try and deal with the bear first. Healing himself to roll on in, but all these secret heroes are here. Jarek's actually dove in really deep, and they're going to pop the Global Silence, but they're still going to be able to get the kill onto the Earth Spirit, and maybe No Tail as well, as he's slowed down by the Gush. Puppy is a bit far away, though.
That was pretty disastrous.
Yeah. And Secret, at that point where they see Global Silence is used, they could just go for it in the mid lane. They can take the mid tower so quickly, thanks to the fact they have a low Druid.
Yeah, they've got Ravage too. This is the opposite of what they wanted to happen. They were hoping to find a pickoff on mid one and taking the mid tower themselves, and instead, Secret. Again, it comes down to this Tidehunter and just being able to sit himself in front of lanes. He's like this immovable target that you just can't really go on at this point.
Radiant's
OG, they're
bottom
realizing
tower
it's
is under attack.
much more difficult than just simply running at towers.
Yeah,
This is just going to create space for Nisha, who goes down to this bottom lane. I mean, he'll eventually catch up. That's the nature of Terrorblade.
Off of that tower gold, they now have a mech on the Enigma, so our team fight becomes significantly better for Team Secret than it was before. We have yet to see the big impact of Thompson since the last time he just kind of jumped in the middle of all those secret heroes. He's now made a rotation up to top lane.
Yapzor, he's smoked up. He's going to get spotted here. The ward is laid out, but again, just not easy heroes to go on.
Does manage to get no tail with the ensnare, but Seb and Thompson, they can both go for mid one here potentially. Seb is actually just going to back up with the silencer, but Thompson is fully committed. At the same time, they're going to be able to get the Ravage and the control with the Black Hole, the top of two of those cores. Now the Troll's not going to die right away, but he's been feared up immediately after. They managed to chain the CC very nicely to make sure there's no battle trance opportunity. Did you see that? Seb just like, he just backed up with no tail. Meanwhile, the other two cores went in. There just seemed to be a disagreement about what they wanted to do with that fight.
I mean, I think that Seb had the right idea there. They're not winning that fight.
Yeah,
you just... Lone Druid is so hard to kill for them. And so is Tidehunter. And as soon as Tide comes up there with his Ravage, you have lost any chance of winning that fight, especially when you don't have Global Silence. Yapzor still has his ultimate. They might even go for Roshan here. They've got Shaman wards. They can continue to just get a gold lead.
All right, well, apparently Team Secret didn't need the 5 and 10 minute bounties, because at 15 minutes, they'll get 3 of them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I see here again, No-Tail's already at half HP.
And it's just, you know, he runs in following Thompson's lead. This is twice now that Thompson's aggression on the Monkey King has come back to bite him.
It's Yapzor's positioning in the team fight. Like, Seb doesn't want to use Roar on him because he knows he has to use it on one of the cores. And so Yapzor just stands there at the bottom. He's like, come in. You're a melee hero. You will get Black Hold with the rest of your team. You're not bursting him.
And every single time Team Secret defends a tower successfully, they in turn manage to take the opposing tower.
It's just a weird position. Because Secret is just letting OG base check into them.
Yeah.
And they're being patient, so they're not wasting time. And they're doing this all without Nisha, who, like I talked about, he was third from the bottom in net worth not even 5 minutes ago, and now he's third overall.
Definitely very heavily recovered his net worth position.
And if you're OG, the reason why you have to do this is, well, it's sort of like how your lineup works.
Yeah.
You were meant to win these fights early on. You have a Beastmaster as one of your cores, a lot less greedy, doesn't get a Midas or anything like that.
Surrounded here, he has to go for the Primal Roar onto the Bear just to make sure he doesn't get ensnared. And it seems like the fights are only going to get harder.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right? Because we're now getting all these various team fight items. First it was Vlad's, then it was the mech. Now I think I saw a Defiance for Zai, so they're going to be able to catch Seb here with the Serpent Wards. Nobody's around to be able to save him. There is going to be Global Silence actually with the base boots. He doesn't even have to kill the Serpent Wards to get out of that trap, but still, something was forced. OG. They managed to force the Tide into rotation, so I was going to ask you, what if they make some sort of feint play where they force Secret to go, oh, they're pushing this tower, let's TB defend, and then they go to the other side of the map.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
We'll see if it actually works for them, though, because they may not be pushing into a Tidehunter, but they're still a Lone Druid.
This is their old school combo, right? All right, there you guys go.
It's just beautiful.
It really is.
You can tell the players you can hear it, too. 6-7, 4,000 net worth lead just continues to climb for Team Secret.
Remember during it was like TI 6 times, that was like their death lineup. It would be Tide Enigma for Secret.
Yep,
it was when they had like Misery, and he just played Tide every game. It's like that was the combo. Give it to them, you'll lose. And they're bringing it back old school here.
And that was referred to as like this ultimate high ground defense that was super hard to fight into, even as you got BKBs, like you could still lose fights. And here, Team Secret is utilizing that defense and defending tier 1s. So this is like tier 1 is, as it sounds, it's the first step. OG is supposed to have gotten all the tier 1s by now, and then they're supposed to be focusing on tier 2s, get Roshan, then go for the high ground. It feels like their whole entire game plan has been entirely stalled up.
The good news for their lineup, though, is that because, and this sounds weird, but like because Secret has so many cores, it does mean that Ana just, I mean, he's got more to farm, right? That is the upside here, is that unlike Secret, who has to split like the entirety of the jungle and lane creeps, you have Ana who just, he gets all of it.
Everything is Ana's.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I can kind of get behind that.
Are scanning.
I don't know if, I mean, I guess the problem for me is they have such good counters to the troll, right? All three of their cores counter the troll in some way, right? You've got Tidehunter who's naturally tanky and lowers the troll's damage. You've got this high armor TB who can also pretty easily get his ultimate off and Sunder.
Once he gets BKB, life gets easier because he can't get rooted.
Yeah.
And Puppey just sort of becomes
Puppey's just gonna run at him.
This is, I feel like I've seen this
again. There goes Global Sounds again. Yes, that was deja vu.
This literally looked like a replay. I just saw this exact same sequence of events. And then they all started spamming Seb. Thank you.
One thing that didn't happen though, last time Team Secret didn't just funnel into the Roshan pit super fast.
That was so weird, right? Like,
yeah, dude. Oh, the roll! Oh, did he Jax? He got him! He kicks these out of the pit, snatches up the Aegis. He's very likely going to die here, of course, but that was still sick. He managed somehow to get out of the pit, but that was amazing.
That's the second Aegis steal that we've seen just today alone.
Sai, he knows what you're up to. He knows that you're trying to TP way inside of these trees. And now Ana.
Can he do it? He's really quick.
He is very fast, but where's he really going to go?
Oh, he didn't come down.
Back through, but Yaptor is here. There is also Seb with Primal Roar, but now it's only Seb. The rest of his team is still a little bit too far away. They're smoking it. Here comes that Wukong's man with a Boundless Strike onto 3, trying to get up the Jingu stacks, get it off of mid-1. Thompson's actually plenty healthy thanks to lifesteal. Puppey, he's a little bit low, but does manage to get out of the Wukong's command. No-Tail trying to finish him up to make sure they mid. There is no disables on top of Thompson, but now the Black Hole gets the bolt, and they will be able to get those disables out to finish off that Monkey King, and Seb slowed down. Jarex tries to come in to bail out his team like he just did inside the Roshan pit, but Team Secret all low, but all alive.
And you saw that mad scramble. They understand there's only one way they can lose that team fight, and they're going to get around on Jarex. He wanted to make it all 5. So that's going to be the complete team wipe. Has No-Tail gotten any int since he racked up that 10? No, he is not.
No.
He bought a very ambitious Null Talisman. My game's great, guys.
Blitz, this is feeling like the antithesis of the Liquid game 2, right? Liquid go through, they're this demolishing force that's taking every single tower. Here it's the opposite. Team Secret's just the unbreakable wall. And the game just becomes more and more one-sided as OG run into that wall, fail to break it, and just make Secret stronger as a result. Oh man, they are all so low, and every single time I can't help but thinking like Thompson, feeling compelled because the way the fight's always breaking out, he has to throw out the Boundless Strike first. Not having it later on to the fight just costs him several kills.
Still see smiles as they're finally going to claim this mid tier 1 tower. That'll be all the outer tier 1 towers now taken. But we just expected it so much earlier.
Yeah, we see how swiftly the GG bet odds have changed. OG do take that tier 1 tower, and they're pushing kind of for more because they know no Black Hole, no Ravage, and it does have a BKB as well. Thompson tries to jump to the back line, but a blink away from Yaptor. He's able to get a Wukong's command surrounding Puppey. Puppey just going to throw out the Circle Morts. Immediately there's going to be the Global Sounds to make sure there's going to be no Ravages. It just came offside. He's trying to get out of the pit. He does have the Ravage. He wants the float. What was it at the last second? He's just going to be able to get another damage, and they're keeping Ana dead, and he do manage to bring him down. He stays alive, and now look for the chase is Seb. Trying to get away from Puppey, a good kick from the Earth Spirit will slow him down, but Yapstar didn't get hit by that. He's got a Blink Dagger, he's gonna spot Seb, doesn't have the stun up in time though.
And that half second that Jirex made him stutter step buys him just enough time. And honestly, that was not the worst fight. That was about as good as it gets for OG right there. They forced the buyback. They got a core kill. They did lose their troll in their 10-second BKB, but with the net worth disadvantage that they have, you expect that fight to be a lot more one-sided.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been a little bit better if they had somehow finished off the tide.
Yes.
He doesn't get out the Ravage, then Troll survives. They probably take the tier 2 as a result. I mean, it was so close. Good read on Zai.
It was.
I almost thought that he was just going to be like, oh, this is a lost fight. I don't want to blow Ravage in a lost fight.
No, he was waiting for as long as he could for the troll ult to be off. You saw that, I think Seb roared him as well. They were just trying to keep him locked up because they understood they were conditioned to win in that fight.
Yeah.
Just don't let him Ravage.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Puppey has a Ghost Scepter, but should go down here.
Zai says goodbye. Captain Puppey. TTP's away.
Thompson now on a killing spree, and he's done a very admirable job with his net worth too. It's just, I mean, look at the difference between the Enigma 4 position and the Beastmaster who was mid. This is sort of Seb's role in the game though. Like we talked about, his item build was not geared towards splitting the map like we see normal Beastmasters do.
Right.
We saw him earlier in the tournament go for the Necro 3 and just dominate. This time around, he's had to just switch gears and make it so that his troll is protected as much as possible. He's purchased the Vlads, the Solar Crest.
That's been so much of OG's bread and butter is these these offlaners that can get a bunch of team fight items for OG.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He even goes for the Solar Crest to amplify the damage of the Troll or the Monkey King. You see something similar out of Zai here.
The crazy part is I could still sort of see a way in which OG can win.
Yeah. I mean, the Dota Plus odds don't put it too far out there. It's like 85% to the favor of Team Secret.
I say that's about right. You could see the glimmer of how they can win a team fight.
Yeah.
When they properly throw down the global and they're unable to help mid one. There's no 4 staffs or anything yet. What?
Yapster is building an Octarine core.
Of course.
3rd item.
You'd think he would see that last fight and really wanted to say, hey guys, if I had like 1 4 staff to get out of the Wukong's ult, I probably could have lived.
I'm like thinking about so many like mid-game-ish items that would be good for you. I understand that he doesn't want to go BKB, spacing up against the Silencer, but
yeah, and Beastmaster.
Like a 4 staff would do wonders for you here. They do manage to catch Seb in the mid lane, surrounding him with surfboards. This time around, there is no global silence to use. And indeed,
yes,
Seb is dead. See those guys? Those are the real troopers. The rest of you guys who just kind of...
It's like level 20,000 battle passes out there.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
All right, well, just like last time, we get some sort of pickoff. We're going to go for a tower. They very quickly take it. Now they're ripping apart a tier 3. And he can't actually make it back to the base in time. Puppey and Yapsor, they spotted him thanks to some very aggressive vision they had down. There's going to be the global silence. Anna now going to be forced to pop the battle trance. Is going to be able to turn on the Puppey, gets the Ghost Scepter off, turns on to Nisha next. Eventually, that battle trance is going to wear off, and Anna's going to try to get back to the high ground, but he's going to be slowed down by the Ravage. Does have a Ravage ready to go, but he doesn't even need it at this point. So Thompson lets out the Wukong's command. Puppey trying to get it out of it. Zai also, he throws out the Ravage just to be able to kill that Silencer and slow down Thompson, but eventually he will die here. Give it the Jingu stacks to Thompson as well, which will allow Thompson to fight up against mid 1 spare if he wants to.
That's still 2 dead. Yapsor, now there's very little for him to worry about. Still has the black hole as Nisha. Just gonna take the tower with his illusion.
I mean, it's crazy to me that all those abilities were used. They lost their Tidehunter, and they thought about just pushing for more objectives after taking a tier 3 to melee racks in mid, take a tier 3 bottom, they can hit Shrine. No, they're not that.
They're on the hunt right now.
They're going to be able to catch Puppey.
Nice combo is really anything matters at this point.
Yeah.
OG is far behind enough that you'll take it, and that's going to be a Rax, and the bottom lane opened up as well.
You'll take every little bit that you can get, yes, but how much? How many little bits does OG need to be able to come back into this game?
They would need 2 successful team fights in a row, like big ones. And this might just start
Starting here, pick off on Nisha would be massive. Pops the Manta. They need the roar far away. They do manage to get the silence, but no primal roar. Continuing to run in, but that's going to be the opportunity for the Sunder. Thompson again just seems to be a little bit of a difference between him and Seb's idea about that fight. I think he thought if he kept running, if TV turned around, he was going to get primal roared before the Sunder went off. Jeez. Or no tail.
It's a butterfly already.
And shot just
the
spawned.
timing.
All right. All right. Well, it couldn't be easier for Secret at this point. The AC Solar Crest, there's so much minus armor.
They see it. They know about it.
Yeah, is Anna going to try and run in there? Tops is going to jump into the trees. Seb's going to reveal some heroes. Seb's managed to get the primal arms to the Enigma with the Wukong's command out, and Anna in there with the battle trance as well. Good use for the Sunder from Nisha. Now the Black Hole. They're all managed to catch 3. They do manage to catch some of it, but still, Anna's going to fall. Tops trying to stay alive inside the pin. Who's grabbed the H's and is going to be able to come back alive here. But a setup from Team Secret. They're immediately going to go onto him again, not letting him jump into the trees. He's dead for 100 seconds. And Jerix, who rolled on top of Zai to try and help his carries, he'll die here as well. This is looking grim for OG as Team Secret, given how fast they can take these buildings. 60 seconds on a Troll and 80 seconds on a Monkey King. They could definitely take the Ancient in that short of time.
Yeah, that was the buyback on all these heroes. 17k. The creeps have already taken the mid-racks for them. March on down towards the bottom one. The good news for OG, if there is any, is that unless Secret decide to go for the throne, they do still have a tier 2 tower up at top. But imagine that Secret, they can just take all the shrines now.
This is the same team that... how long was that game? 75 minutes?
Yes.
We had like
versus
4
Alliance.
Aghanim Scepters or something that they took away from Roshan. This is the same team that secured their victory in a way I don't think I've ever seen any team do before. So I'm not surprised they didn't try and go for a fast throne push.
Radiant's bottom shrine
2 lanes of
has
barracks.
fallen.
They've got this game pretty well in the bag. There is the 3rd item, Octarine Core, for the App Stores and
He's going to go for the refresher so that the first time he gets canceled by a global, loads up the second one.
Wouldn't you just get refresher in the first place instead of Octarine?
No, dude. What do you want from me?
Hey, well now he's got an Arcane Rune as well. Zai's been pinging it out for him.
He wants to try to match up the timing, right?
Yeah.
Just wait.
So is he, if he picks it up right before 32 minutes, are they going to give it to Nisha instead? Okay.
That works.
It probably makes more sense.
Yaps was like, yeah, sure, dude. I'm leaving that for you, no problem.
Definitely didn't want that for myself. Anna, Serpent Ward's out.
Oh,
Thompson kind of jumping in, managed to jump back into the trees right before the
They need to
damage
get
came
out.
down.
Someone's getting rooted.
I mean, Midwan is going to eventually root somebody. Anna pops his BKB. He cannot afford to pop the battle trance, otherwise he'll be pulled back into the danger zone. Yapzor, actually...
He didn't have hole, but
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
no tail.
What a bluff.
Radiant's
Ran
top
forward and
tower has fallen.
without global, I think you just go for it.
Yeah.
They don't have creeps though.
Radiant's structures are fortified.
Does it really matter to this Terrorblade with an Arcane Rune? Any excuse to pop the Metamorphosis? Is there any lane that's going to be pushing in soon?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's a long time for those creeps that are at the very top part of the map right now, slowly making their way. Coming soon to try and break the backdoor protection. And meanwhile, on the side, OG is trying to... They have to try and get into the backline, right? They have to stop Yapzor now that they don't have a global silence to rely on. Team Secret back up, just playing that high ground area we've seen so many teams do. When they're in control on Dire side, make sure to get the vision on top of the cliff, defend it.
They're looking for it here.
And he wants a fast pick off on Puppey. Good force stab. Gets out of the Wukong's command. Now Goat Scepter as well. And he even turns around to get some disables off into the back line, though. It's going to be the Earth Spirit just trying to get damage onto the Enigma. He's trying to get the black hole. There is going to be the Ravage down. The Fear away. Unable to get off the battle trance. Multiple buybacks coming out from OG now as they're going to be run down by Team Secret one by one. It's going to be No-Tail first. Thompson potentially next, or instead they're going to just turn and take Seb into their own hands. And trying to run in for a second. Hey, do have the long jump in from Thompson, who spotted a very low HP Puppey, who somehow is still alive through all this one, but can't get him. And there's nothing they can do at this point. OG just a celebratory black hole from Yapzor. As they know, I mean, Team Secret just handled OG in so many ways this game.
That was so methodical, and it all comes down to the draft where they pick this Tidehunter, this Lone Druid, two heroes that they know.
Yep.
Even though they're greedier, you can't really run at them. They'll just sit in front of their towers. They were never able to